Hey guys, it's RebeccaLynOberstadt. In today's video, we are doing another St. Patrick's Day inspired eye look. I am using the Colourpop So Jaded palette, and this is the shade Jade. Now, I did something a little different in this video. Can you guys tell me what it is down below? I will be looking to see if you get it right. I did try a couple of different things in this video, and I will wait for you guys to spot them because, well, you know, it is me. So I decided to do like a green and gold look on the one eye, which that video will go up probably the day before St. Patrick's Day, and this one will go up on the day of. I wanted something that would be more wearable, that if you physically work in an office building or wherever, that you could probably get away with wearing this to work, and you know, at least you've got your green on and nobody will pinch you. I am part Irish, so I you know, I don't have to worry about that because, you know, my skin's green anyway, so I mean, I kind of fit right in. But this is more of a grungy kind of green look. So I was like, oh, let's see what happens. This is the BH Naughty palette, and the shade I am using is called Balsm. I used 3 shades out of this one and 2 shades out of this So Jaded. I tried to keep the number of palettes lower when doing these combination videos, and I ended up pulling like 14 palettes and a whole bunch of singles to do. I was planning on doing a whole week worth of green looks, but allergies and get up and go kind of have given me issues this past week or two, and this was filmed like towards the beginning of March, so I had plenty of time to get it filmed and edited. I just have had so much going on that I am like playing catch up on editing all the videos and stuff that I had filmed for gameplay, and those take so much longer. I understand why these guys that I follow on YouTube that are MMO RPG channels, that when they do a video it takes a long time to get them out. The next shade I'm going into is also from the Naughty palette. This is the shade Very Merry. It's a really pretty like light sagey green shimmer, and I'm using a little Wet n Wild brush. The other 2 brushes I were using were from BH Cosmetics. One of them is one of their vegan brushes. This is a really sheer kind of shade, kind of like a topper shade, which is why I'm glad I kind of went over my entire eyelid with the other shade first, because this needs a little bit of pigment behind it in order for it to show up. You'll realize this when I do the inner corner of my eye. You'll notice that it's very, very, very sheer. And I did my face makeup a little weird this morning, well, the morning that I filmed this, because I did one eye and one side of my face first, and I didn't have anything on this side of my face. This is the shade Mistletoe, also from the BH Naughty palette. It's like this grungy olive green bronze kind of shade. It's really neat. It looks green in some lights, and other lights it looks like a bronze, in some lights it looks like olive. So it just depends on how you turn your head, what color you're going to see. It's almost like it's a multi-chrome, which I'm not going to complain. BH has done some really neat things with some of their shadows lately, where they're not just shimmers anymore, that they do have multiple facets to them. You know, the palettes that they've been releasing lately have been very interesting to me, and this palette also has a multi-chrome in it that's like purple, pink, and blue, and I was like blown away. I noticed that right along my lash line I had some issues with getting the product on, so that's why I was going back over that spot. And then I always press over my shimmer shadows with my finger to get them to stay on better. This is the Emerald shade from the So Jaded palette. I only use these 2 shades because, to be honest, out of a jewel toned palette, that's the only 2 green shades in the entire palette. So I wanted to spice this up a little bit, but I didn't want too much of that jewel toned green. I wanted this to be more subdued, something that you could get away with wearing for work for St. Patrick's Day and not have to worry about getting yelled at by a boss for having over-the-top makeup. I'm sure the other eye is not work appropriate, but this one I tried to keep as work appropriate as possible. And I don't really normally do like regular like tutorials and stuff. So face makeup, and now into the under eye. I did at the very end of this video, you'll see that I switch up how I do things once the eye look is finished here in just a minute after I do, you know, the under eye part of it. I wanted to show you some other options to change up a look. I want to start implementing things like this where I show you how doing one thing different can change an eye look from what it was before to something completely different. If you look, I currently have a gold liner in my waterline. I think that is the BH Power Pencil in gold. Don't quote me on it. I did not write that down. I wrote down the shades I used, but not the like liners and stuff. But if you look, the gold liner kind of makes the color on the inner portion of my eyelid look a little bit more gold than green. And you'll find at the very end of the video, when I switch things up a little bit, that changes. Now, there's that Very Merry shade again. If you look, see how sheer it is? It's very, very light, very sheer. This is definitely a topper kind of shade. You can build these shadows up with your finger to get them to be more opaque, or using a wet brush. I used all dry brushes for this eye look. So again, when you get your brush wet, it causes the metallicness of a shadow to stand out a lot more than just a regular dry brush. Sometimes dry brushes are all you need, but sometimes you absolutely have to have a wet brush in order to get that extra oomph that you want in your eyeshadows. And here is the eye look up close. I am not a fan of olive toned eye shades because I have a lot of olive in my skin. Depending on how I feel, some days I look very yellow, some days I look very green, some days I look like my crease color. So I don't care for them on my skin, but because that's basically the color of my skin, they're very complimentary. I just personally do not like the way that they look. And there are both of the St. Patrick's Day eye looks so that you can see what they look like. And again, if you look at how, as I turn my head in the light, you can see the different shades on that mistletoe, where sometimes it looks green, sometimes it looks olive, sometimes it looks bronze. And then there is the whole face. And you guys like my headband? Isn't it cute? There's also a button on it that you can push that lights up the unicorn horn. I picked that up at Walmart like a couple of years ago, and I think it's cute. It pinches the hell out of my head though. It's very, very tight. And I have a skinny head, so I don't know how anybody else would be able to wear this. I couldn't wear this for very long because it would cause a migraine. Now, this is a liquid liner from CoverGirl. This is not a very good liner, and I always end up having to rinse the tip off after I use it over eyeshadow, because you'll find that it picks up product as you use it. You also have to shake it a few times in order to get the product down into the tip. But it's a semi-fine tip. It is a felt tip liner instead of a brush tip liner, so I don't really prefer those. And I'm being very careful here on the outer eye. I do not want to get too carried away with a liner. But I do know that using liquid liner, or using even a black liner on your upper lash line, can change the way a look appears. So that was what I was going for here. I wanted to show you that you could spice this up a little bit and make it a little bit more dramatic. You could add a couple of like glitter flakes to it. Hell, you could even add a rhinestone to like your brow bone or your inner corner that was green, to make this a little bit more, you know, special. Or if you need to modify it from like a day look to a night look, just doing these simple changes can change how it looks. And there is what it looks like now compared to earlier. What do you guys think? With the black liner or without the black liner? Also, you can still see the gold liner in my waterline. We're fixing to change that. I like how this turned out. I don't really care for these colors, but I think it turned out very well. Now, This is Sugar Cosmetics Heavy Kohl Liner in like Green Envy, or I don't know, it's green something. It's a jewel toned green liner. I needed to get a little palette so I could see what the hell I was doing. If you look, once I finish putting this on my waterline, if you look at what it does to the shades on my eyelid, look at how they look all green now. Whereas before they looked like kind of gold and bronze. When I open my eye here in a second, you'll see the difference. And again, slight changes like this can also change how an eye look appears. So let me know what you guys think down below. Did you spot the thing I did differently? And what do you think about me adding these extra little changes in at the end? Let me know your comments down below. See you guys later. Bye.